Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text number 8. Nāhi Pashyami Vasapatnam Apichadipacham Nahi Prapashyami Mama Panuja Yachokam Uchoshanam Indriyanam Avapya Bhuma Vasapatnam Ridham Rajam Suranam Apichadipacham Do not He certainly Prapashyami I see Mama my Apanuja can drive away that which Shokam lamentation Uchoshanam drying up Indriyanam of the senses Avapya achieving Bhuma on the earth Asapatnam without rival Ridham prosperous Rajam kingdom Suranam of the demigods Api even Cha also Adipatjam supremacy. Translation: I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Purport. Although Arjuna was putting forward so many arguments based on knowledge of the principles of religion and moral codes, it appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of the spiritual master, Lord Sri Krishna. He could understand that his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problems, which were drying up his whole existence, and it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of a spiritual master like Lord Krishna. Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is that a spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious is the bona fide spiritual master, for he can solve the problems of life. Lord Chaitanya said that one who is master in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his social position, is the real spiritual master. Kiba Vipra Kibanyasi Sudra Kene Noi Ye Krishna Tattva Veta Se Guru Hoy. It does not matter whether a person is a Vipra, learned scholar in Vedic wisdom, or is born in a lower family, or is in the renounced order of life. If he is master in the science of Krishna, he is the perfect and bona fide spiritual master. So without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is a bona fide spiritual master. It is also said in Vedic literatures, Satkarma Nipano Vipro Mantra Tantra Visharada Avaishnavo Gurur Nasyad Vaishnava Swapacho Guru. A scholarly Brahmana, expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge, is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava, or expert in the science of Krishna consciousness. But a person born in a family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava or Krishna conscious. The problems of material existence, birth, old age, disease, and death, cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. In many parts of the world, there are states which are replete with all facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed. Yet the problems of material existence are still present. They are seeking peace in different ways, but they can achieve real happiness only if they consult Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which constitute the science of Krishna, through the bona fide representative of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. If economic development and material comforts could drive away one's lamentation for family, social, national, or international inebrities, then Arjuna would not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of the demigods in the heavenly planets would be unable to drive away his lamentations. He sought, therefore, refuge in Krishna consciousness, and that is the right path for peace and harmony. Economic development or supremacy over the world can be finished at any moment by the cataclysms of material nature. Even elevation into a higher planetary situation, as men are now seeking on the moon planet, can also be finished at one stroke. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Kshine punye marchalokam vishanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of happiness to the lowest status of life. Many politicians of the world have fallen down in that way. Such downfalls only constitute more causes for lamentation. Therefore, if we want to curb lamentation for good, then we have to take shelter of Krishna, as Arjuna is seeking to do. So Arjuna asked Krishna to solve his problem definitely, and that is the way of Krishna consciousness. Nahi prapashyami mamapanujad yachokam uchchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumau asapatnam ridham rajam suranam apicha adipakjam. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. There's a Bulgarian translation going on? Yes? You fearful? Huh? You hear?
They know English.
Really? So, Arjuna is asking. He's asking in a way of displaying his troubles. Just like sometimes you ask the spiritual master a question by asking, what is this, or how is that, or why is this, or like that. Where should I go? What should I do? Sometimes you ask spiritual master a question by simply saying, oh, everything is terrible, everything is just horrible, oh, I don't know. So, both of these possibilities are there for asking questions. Arjuna is asking question in the second way. He told Krishna in yesterday's verse, Shishyaste ham sadimam tom prapanam parpanyadosha bhavatva svabhava. I am now a disciple, a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. He said, I'm your Shishya. I'm your disciple. You instruct me. You tell me what you want me to do. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't have the faintest idea what to do. That is Arjuna surrendering to Krishna like that. He said, I don't know what to do. I cannot figure it out. I cannot understand it. Now just consider Arjuna. First of all, he's this huge man. Arjuna is the greatest bowman in the world. Very powerful. Not only capable of fighting with the bow, but fighting with the fists he could do as well. Very powerful was Arjuna. And very famous all over the world. Everyone knew Arjuna as the most powerful bowman. And yet, although Arjuna was so powerful, and although he was so expert in shooting the arrows, Krishna will even call him Savyasachin, which means one who is expert at shooting arrows. So, Arjuna, although he had all of these good qualifications, so many good qualifications, still, Arjuna did not know what to do. He simply was bewildered. He just didn't know what to do. So that goes to show you that having big muscles and great defensive skills does not necessarily mean that you will know what to do at any given moment in time. Not only that, but Arjuna says here, as Prabhupada brings out in the purport, a very, very valuable point. Of course, all the points in the purports are valuable. But I just happened to think this one was very valuable while I was reading it. That Arjuna is saying, even if I had an unrivaled kingdom with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven, demigods in heaven are unrivaled. So if I was unrivaled like the demigods in heaven, still, despite having so much opulence, despite having so much power, despite having so much prestige, I do not think that I will be able to drive away this grief and lamentation which is drying up my whole existence. And Prabhupada extrapolates on that statement very nicely by saying that this proves that even if you take birth in countries which are very opulent, still, even you have all kinds of good economic development, all kinds of good sense gratification, all kinds of material opulences, it is not enough to drive away your lamentation. I know, in my own life, born in America, in New York City, had a nice house, good family, enough money, no problem materially, still not satisfied. Tons of sense gratification, but it didn't help. Not satisfied. And couldn't figure out either why not. Just disturbed. There was something missing in life. Didn't all of you find the same thing? You could have had everything in your material life. Even here in Yugoslavia, it does not matter. There was plenty of opportunity for sense gratification. People are living quite all right. There's no problem, not like in some of the poorer countries, like in Africa or in India, where people are not enjoying high degrees of sense gratification. Everything is available, but still something is missing, isn't it? What is that? One may say, happiness is missing, love is missing. Although sometimes people fall in love with some other materialist, and at that time they become completely bewildered and think, this is it, this is for real. This is the real love that I have been waiting for. But it is not like that. After some time, they find out that it was just like everything else. A temporary rush, a temporary feeling of emotion, which did not last. Even if you don't divorce, even if you remain together, that original feeling of love that you had on the honeymoon, you know what is the honeymoon, right? That is gone. That is just the illusory energy of the Lord capturing the living entity. Capturing him and making him think, oh, isn't everything just perfect? You've got your beloved wife. You're here in your honeymoon. You are enjoying. Everything is just wonderful. And one walks around in a daze. He doesn't know whether it's day or night. He doesn't care. He sings songs. They have so many songs in the material radio about how the feet are floating above the ground and he doesn't touch the ground anymore. And he is just floating in the sky and everything is just so wonderful. Until they fight. And soon enough they will fight. He wants this, she wants that. And then they battle. Who will win? Who will dominate? Then they come down off of their cloud and they're on the ground. And then they're just frustrated and they're going harumph. She's going harumph. And it's all finished. But then they find some way to make up, and then it's all bliss again. And then they fight again, and it's harumph again. And then again it's bliss, and again harumph. After a while, they settle down into a kind of understanding. You don't step on my toes, I don't step on your toes. But never again do they experience this false manifestation of love. Because that manifestation of love is simply lusty desires manifesting. And when those lusty desires are unfulfilled, especially in the age of Kali. In the age of Kali it is said, Dampatim ratimevahi. The only reason for having marriage is due to sex attraction. And when that attraction becomes minimized or diminished, then there is divorce. In India, they don't, well, they're doing it nowadays, but up until just some years ago, they did not marry on the basis of the physical attraction. In fact, Chanakya Pandit said that to have a wife who is too beautiful is not good. Then the wife becomes an enemy. Because she's always attracting every other man. Because she's too beautiful. And therefore you're always disturbed with jealousy. Therefore better the wife is not too good looking. And that she knows how to cook instead. Do all you girls know how to cook? No. Just see. In India, when they get married, the father and the mother of the boy and the father and mother of the girl, they get together and they discuss whether or not these two would be happy together. They don't decide on the basis of physical attraction. They decide on the basis of the qualities of the children. In Lord Chaitanya's time, they had what is called a matchmaker. You know what this word matchmaker means? Yeah. That somebody, he figures out, oh, this girl is very nice, and that boy is very nice, so they can get married. So then he goes to the mother of the boy and he says, I have a very nice girl for your son. If you will agree to this, then I will arrange it with the other side. Then the mother thinks about it, and she goes, yes, it could be good. So then the matchmaker goes to the other side, says, I have a very nice boy for your daughter. And the mother thinks it is very good. So if you agree, we can start to make the negotiation. Then they think about it, and they think, oh, it could be good. All right. Yeah. Then they would use astrology. Nowadays, astrology is not very useful because there are not very many good astrologers. But in those days, there were very good astrologers, and they could figure out the qualities and character of the children according to their qualities astrologically. Then they could see. They will go together very nicely and be married for a whole life without disturbance. Or, no, they will fight all the time. This will not be a good match. If the astrologer said it was no good, then the whole thing was dissolved. They forgot about it. Even the boys and girls didn't even know what was going on. The parents were doing all this. So, when the parent decided that you should marry this girl, then the boy would say, yes, all right. It's like in Srila Prabhupada's case. Srila Prabhupada had one favorite girl he wanted to marry, who was very good looking. And Prabhupada's father said, no, you must marry this girl, who was not so good looking. I've seen pictures of her. She was also good looking, but maybe not as good looking as the other one. So Prabhupada's father wanted that he marry that girl. And Prabhupada, when we were in South Africa, in Johannesburg it was, he was laying down at night and I was massaging his legs. Because always when Srila Prabhupada lay down at night, because of his blood circulation and blood pressure, we massaged his legs very gently so that he could sleep nicely. So, Srila Prabhupada was chuckling. He was just laughing. And he then told me, he said, my father was very intelligent. He said, I wanted to marry this other girl who was very good looking. But my father thought, no. If you marry that girl, you will be attached and never get out of household life. So better you marry not very good looking girl, and you will be detached from household life and become a pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. This was Srila Prabhupada's father's reasoning. Very intelligent father. He thought better you marry a not so good girl and get detached. And that's exactly what happened. Prabhupada used to tell the famous story. He once asked his wife in frustration because his wife was drinking tea. And Prabhupada couldn't tolerate that in the house. That was her only fault, that she would drink tea. And of course she had another fault. She wasn't interested in the Bhagavatam. When she died, just some weeks before her death, she asked for japa beads from the devotees. And she was chanting japa in the hospital. So you can just see by having association of such a great devotee like Srila Prabhupada, even though she was materialistically minded, she started to chant japa and surrender to Krishna, even at the last stage, but better late than never. So she wanted, Prabhupada once finally gave her an ultimatum. Look, it's either tea or me. It's you take your tea or you take your husband. Make your choice. And she didn't consider this as a factual question. She thought it was a joke. She thought Srila Prabhupada was joking. So she said, well, I'll take the tea. And she didn't think about it again. Then Prabhupada said, all right. He walked out the door and never came back. So Prabhupada's father very perfectly arranged for Prabhupada to have just the right kind of wife. This was the Vedic culture. The Vedic culture is that the parents pick the wives and husbands. Very nice. Then nobody had anxiety. Just like, isn't it a great anxiety for all you girls who want to get married? You have to go chasing after some brahmachari, and he's not interested. Usually the one you pick is not interested, isn't it? The one you want is not interested, or the girl you want, boys, she's not interested. In this way you're very frustrated, isn't it? Yeah. I know, I've heard all about it. And then you have to go through so much anxiety. What to do. You have to think about it at night. You cannot sleep because of this at night. So many problems. So, when it is arranged by the parents at young age, no problem. In fact, it was generally arranged in very young age. I think Prabhupada's marriage was arranged when he was around 12 and the girl was around 8. That does not mean they were married then, just that they were promised to each other. And then, when Prabhupada was in his early 20s, then they actually got married. But the girl did not think, oh, I have to run around in the discos and try to attract some boy. She didn't think like that. And she didn't become degraded because of that. She knew, I have my husband. When we get older, we shall live together. So then there was no anxiety whatsoever in the mind of the girl or the boy. And the boy knew, I'm going to be married, this is my wife, I have to get a good education so I can get a good job, so I can support the family. Responsible householder life was thus created. It also made for very peaceful ashramas, because the brahmacharis who lived in the ashram knew that they were not going to get married. You see, nowadays, we give everybody the saffron cloth, but the actual position is that if you are a brahmachari, that means you will never get married, real brahmachari. You will come to the platform of sannyas, then you can wear saffron as brahmachari. Otherwise, if you feel like you will get married, then you should wear white. If you're not fixed in the celibate life through whole life, then you should wear white. So who needs new dhoti? I forgot completely why I'm talking about this. I have no idea what this has to do with the verse. Can anybody remember why I'm... See. Huh? Anyway, back to the verse. Sometimes it happens like that. You're talking about some subject matter and it just flies away into space and you forget what you were talking about. But it doesn't matter, just as long as we're talking about something related to Krishna consciousness. Anyway, people think that by material, I remember now. Material existence, like opulence, love, and all these things. People are so much after this love of this material world. But they don't know this is all temporary business. Temporary business. The real business is to get freed from the miserable conditions of life. And to get freed from the miserable conditions of life means that you have to take shelter of the spiritual energy. Because, as Prabhupada was stating in the purport, even you have everything. Even you have everything. And Arjuna was using the example that even if you have all the opulences of the heavenly planets and the sovereignty of the demigods in heavenly planets, still, you will not have freedom from anxiety. Because then you'll always be thinking, who will attack my kingdom? Who will try to kill me and take over? Who will come and steal my wealth? One will always be in anxiety. This is the nature of the material world, anxiety. Therefore, even if you had freedom from anxiety like the demigods, still there will be anxiety. Indra is the king of the heavenly planets. He's not free from anxiety. When Vishwamitra was performing austerities and penances to become such a great yogi and mystic, Indra thought, this Vishwamitra will take over my position. He's so powerful. Therefore I have to stop him. Indra was in great anxiety. How shall I stop him? So he chose Menaka, his most beautiful, or one of the most beautiful, heavenly society girls, and sent her down and told her, break the austerity of this yogi so that he cannot become king of the heavenly planets. And Menaka, following the instructions of Indra the king, came down and simply tinkled her ankle bell, and that was the end of Vishwamitra, at least temporarily. So, Indra has anxieties. Not only that, but he has anxieties when the demons come. The demons come. The demons make so much trouble for Indra sometimes, like Bali Maharaj, who's a demon by birth, although he's a great Vaishnava. That's another story. But anyway, Bali Maharaj came with all the demons and drove out all the demigods from the heavenly kingdom. Such a terrible thing for Indra. So he's not freed from anxiety. He also has anxiety. Everyone has anxiety. As long as you're in the material world, you have anxiety. Even Brahma has anxiety. Sometimes he creates rakshasas or yakshas who run after him to eat him up because they're hungry. So Lord Brahma, he has very much anxiety when that happens. And he has to run away. He has to run away from them. Because he doesn't know how to protect himself. So the only solution to protect yourself from the anxieties and perplexities of this material world is to surrender. Surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. That's the only solution. There is no other solution than that. You must surrender to Krishna, because that is the perfection of life. Of course, Arjuna, he's in great anxiety right now. He knows that Krishna can help him, and no one else but Krishna can help him. He's already surrendered to Krishna, but now he's still in Maya. Yoga Maya, but Maya. He does not know what is his duty. He's confused. He doesn't understand what should be done. And Krishna will have to come and protect him by giving him instructions as the Supreme Spiritual Master. Krishna is the Supreme Spiritual Master, Adi Guru, the original Guru of all Gurus. All Sampradayas, Brahma Sampradaya, Shiva Sampradaya, Lakshmi Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, all of these Sampradayas, Krishna was the one who originally instructed Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi, and Kumara. Krishna personally instructed them. And thus, the knowledge descended down through the universe from these spiritual masters. But Krishna is Adi Guru, the original spiritual master. So, it is up to us to follow in the footsteps of Krishna, the original spiritual master. In whatever status of life we're in, we may be very highly elevated. We may be president or king. But whatever we are, we should take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become happy and satisfied. This is essential, to take shelter of Krishna. So let us learn how to take shelter of Krishna and be happy. This will bring us to perfection very, very quickly. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when he makes his conclusion, Sarva dharman parijyajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Just take shelter of me alone. Just surrender fully unto me. Give up all varieties of so-called duties and just surrender unto me. And I shall protect you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So that's Krishna's advice to us. His order, in fact, we are his disciples all through the disciplic succession. And therefore, let us take shelter of the Supreme Lord and go back home, back to Godhead, where we belong. Hare Krishna. Question already?
You said that actually I'm missing something. I found in my own life is actually I'm missing my relationship with you, with my spiritual master. And because you said that surrendering to Krishna is just a question of your heart. But I find out that my heart is so much used to these mundane thoughts and mundane, because I'm here for time immemorial, and they just mundane lasting. And but now I really want It's not any kind of emotion.
I think I should take out my violin and play along.
It just it's just such a slow.
Sometimes we feel like that. But if you just follow the instruction of the spiritual master, then you can be connected. The spiritual master is not going to pat you on the head and say, good girl, good girl. Like you pat on the head the child or the dog. Good boy, good boy. Not that kind of sentimentality. No. Real sentiment means to understand. You're getting good instruction. That instruction is helping you advance in spiritual life. Therefore you feel something. Otherwise you're ungrateful. You've gotten plenty of instructions. Is it not? Who hasn't gotten plenty of instructions? Everybody's gotten plenty of instructions. Plenty. But you are ungrateful. Rascal. Isn't it? So whose fault is that?
Mine.
Yes. So what are you going to do about that? You have to be grateful. If somebody comes up to you and gives you 1,000,000 dinars, you'll be very grateful. Dinars, still dinars? It's changing so fast nowadays, you don't know what it is anymore. So you'll be very grateful. Or if some devotee comes up and just gives you a nice gulab jamun, you'll be very grateful. A spiritual master is giving you so much. Why aren't you grateful? Huh? Why fool?
No brain.
Why no brain? Lust. Lusty desires. Taking away the brain. Can't think anymore. Can't surrender anymore. This is the problem.
How should we pray to give up that?
Pray, just pray. You don't need to be told how to pray. You go to Krishna and say, my dear Lord, I've got no love or devotion for you or my spiritual master because I'm so covered by lusty desires. Please help me overcome these desires so at least I can serve you with pure devotion. Simple.
We have nowadays good astrologer, that's right.
I don't think you should even bother with astrology because nobody knows what they're doing.
Should the spiritual master play the role of matchmaker?
No! I am not a matchmaker. You want to get married, you got to find your own wife. Everybody can put up an advertisement on the temple bulletin board. Bachelor brahmachari. Looking for a good brahmachari. Inquire within. Any girl who's interested can write her name underneath. Brahmacharini Devi Dasi. Inquire through temple president. Of course, no one will do that. You'll be too embarrassed. And if you leave it on the board, then one very funny brahmacharini will write, "Marry you? Are you kidding?"
You told us that it's not good, it will not do anything if we attain wealth of demigods, or if we attain a good wife or anything else. What will happen if we want something, but if we try to attain it in other way? If I fell before the Lord and say, "Oh Lord, please, I want that. I know I'm not pure devotee, but I'm not a sannyasi." So
there's a verse like that. Akama moksha kama va sarvakama udaradi tivena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha puram. Exactly what you're saying. If you are not a devotee, which means you don't desire anything, or sarvakama, you desire everything. You're a karmi. You want all kinds of material things. Or moksha kama, you want liberations, and that covers all the different kinds of kama. Desire. Kama means desire. Whatever you desire, you're intelligent only if you go surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and ask Him to fulfill your desires. Because only Krishna is capable of fulfilling all your desires.
And can I ask something about it? If you attain something by material means, for example, if I go to disco, I don't go there, but if I go there and
Go where?
to disco,
Yeah.
I don't go there anyway, but if you go there and find some girl, it will be material, and you described very nicely how it will be. But what happens if you pray to the Lord? Is there a possibility to attain what we prayed for in a pure way, in a spiritual way?
As long as you've got material desires, that is not pure. That's called sakama, with desire. Sakama bhakta. You're a devotee with desires. Yeah? That is not pure. You have to become an akama bhakta, devotee without desires. Only desire to serve Krishna. Okay, now we know what's the top platform. But what about if you're not an akama devotee? Then what do? So then, like I said before, you just worship Krishna, and if you have desire to fulfill, and you worship Krishna, He'll fulfill it. Somehow or another. You don't have to worry.
You see, I'm not sannyasi. If I say that I have no wishes, then I'm alive.
Sannyasi is not the point. Even sannyasi can be full of desires. Just changing your dress doesn't make you a sannyasi. To be sannyasi, you have to be actually renounced. So, it doesn't matter whether you're a sannyasi or a grihasta or a vanaprastha or a brahmachari, whatever. It doesn't matter. All that counts is that you surrender to Krishna.
That's on purpose.
Yes.
In the letter, it's starting to finish my class. And initially, let you hear about how the cycle of the receipt of record destination please receive me. After I received your letter and I started to learn, I wanted to go that you are not satisfied, so I don't get your verse. I always think that you give me that instruction because I'm attached to the project. So does it mean that I manipulate with you?
No. If you are doing something like going to school, how old are you? 24. You're almost an old lady. And what will you get when you get out of the school? A piece of paper. And that piece of paper says that you have graduated. And then what are you going to do? The only thing you can do with that piece of paper is to go to work for some fool and rascal who doesn't know anything about spiritual life and earn some money. Is that really good? It's useless. So here you are. You want to be a devotee. You're surrendering to Krishna. So even you graduate, what will you do? You'll become a devotee. Now if your school ends in 3 months, that's all right. But if you have to go for many years, and then what will you get out of it? I went to the university and graduated. Educated man. I haven't used any of that knowledge ever since I've been a devotee. And what did I do at the university? I simply wasted my time. I don't even want to tell you what I did in the university. So I'm not going to tell you. Let it remain a secret and die with me. But after getting out of the university, what did I get? Nothing. I'm not going to work for some fool. I'm going to surrender to Krishna. And so what was the use? I could have surrendered to Krishna 4 years before. I could have saved myself of so much trouble and difficulty. But no brain. Had to go to school. Real intelligence means the degree to which you can surrender to Krishna. No? What do you think of all this? It's okay. Yeah.
We often hear that the mercy, spiritual mercy, is an essential point in spiritual life. And I just want to ask, how is that, and in what principle that mercy is poured out to the disciple, and what way the spiritual mercy gives his mercy to the disciple?
First of all, he gives mercy to everyone. I know in my own case, and I'm quite sure this is the case with all the other gurus. Well, maybe not in everybody's case, because some don't have that many disciples and they still are very much attuned to who is disciple and who is not disciple. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't make a distinction if you are my disciple or you are not my disciple. When it comes to giving instruction, I give to everybody freely. So that's the first level of mercy from spiritual master. Just freely given out at the time of giving instruction. However, there is another kind of mercy that brings you very rapidly to the perfectional platform when you do something wonderful for the satisfaction of the spiritual master. Now, it doesn't have to be that you go out and distribute 10,000 books in 1 week in order to be recognized by the spiritual master for doing something wonderful. No. I know there's one of my disciples in Buenos Aires, and this devotee goes out and he distributes around 220 books a week, but he's been doing it for the last 10 years steadily without stopping. And all the devotees in the temple respect him very much because of this. So steady devotee. And I am, just to be frank, I am totally pleased with him. And give him all my mercy without any restriction. So, if you're steady in your service, if you're steady, and you just keep on doing it for years, without complaining, without arguing, without fighting, you just do it. Then you very much please the spiritual master. Why are you smiling?
He's so complaining about it.
Oh, you mean I hit on the nerve. So, like that, you can get the mercy, the real mercy. It's also mercy, but it's very powerful, that mercy, when the spiritual master is pleased. Pleasing the spiritual master is the essence of spiritual life. And there are many ways you can do it.
Ja imam troje djece, dvoje su ovdje, jedan je kući. Još neko da privodi.
Yeah. I have three kids, one is here and two are at home.
Problem je isto školovanja. Oni bi htjeli, pitali su me, ja nisam znao definitivno da im odgovorim šta je, da li da nastave sa školovanjem ili da dođu u tempu.
They have this question whether they should go to school or come to the temple. They are very young to go to the lectures.
No. When they're young, and you know, there's like this legal limit. What is the legal limit here?
I'm not Christian.
You have to finish that. How old? 14, 15. Your children are younger than 14, 15?
Da.
Yes. So let them just finish the school. And then when they're finished with the school, let them come to the temple full time and be fully engaged in devotional service. In the meantime, bring them on the weekends, on holidays, or they can come after schooling. It's good that they have some basic minimal education. That's good. But then they shouldn't have to worry about more. You can learn so many things in Krishna consciousness. You don't have to go to school to learn these things. You can learn them in Krishna consciousness.
Njima u suštini smeta što idu u školu, jer posle ovog znanja, u svjesnosti više njima znanje u školi ne odgovara.
You don't like going to school because after learning so much in Krishna consciousness, the knowledge that they get in school is just useless for them.
Yeah. That's right, you're right. They are right. Very intelligent.
Ali ja nisam iz Beograda, ja sam iz Niša i malo je problematično da
It's not from Belgrade, it's from this niche, which is 200
Oh, niche.
kilometers.
Yeah. You don't have a temple in this, no? Okay. I see your problem. Difficult. Do you work in Niš? Are you working in Niš?
Da. Ja sam vam pisao pre godine, niste mi odgovorili.
You also wrote it 2 years ago and you answered.
Did I answer that perhaps it would be nice if you even made a non-hatha center out of your temple? Yes?
Da.
Yeah. And, but if that's not possible, or you're too entangled in your work to do that, maybe you can move up here, where there's a nice temple, and live in the neighborhood. Is it possible to live in the neighborhood?
Mi smo instalirali dole oltar, nudimo hranu, imamo program ujutro večer, to ovdje.
They have an altar and they offer their food and they have some programs.
That's nice, but it's much better to associate with the other devotees. Then you become more inspired in Krishna consciousness. But in the meantime, what you're doing is perfect. Continue. Continue.
What does it mean to have a mission?
Mission. What does it mean?
I want to say it's very important for us to have a mission.
But we have mission. Prabhupada has given us the mission. The mission is clear. There's no problem to understand what is the mission. First thing is to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. No, that's our mission. And then how do you do that? Well, you distribute as many books as you can, you print as many books as you can, you distribute as many books as you can, and then you make temples all over the place and preach to people who come. And you have to feed them nice prasadam, you distribute prasadam everywhere. You do Harinam, Kirtan. You're doing Harinam? Why not? Really difficult, huh? They used to get upset. Yeah? Now you can try again. You can try it. But anyway, all those things, these are our mission. The real mission is to make the whole world Krishna conscious. And how to do that? All these other parts of the mission are there. So what is the difficulty? Find the mission.
Everyone has to have like some specific service.
Yeah, but all the services fit within the mission. So long as you fit within the mission, then you're part of the mission. Even if all you do is help the other devotees perform their mission, you're part of the mission. Whatever you do in this Krishna consciousness movement, you're part of the mission. As long as you are serving in ISKCON, you're part of the mission. Just like in the army, they have some people who are in the back bringing the food, bringing the bullets, bringing the shoes. They bring everything for the soldiers. The army doesn't consider they're not in the army. They're in the army. It's army men doing that. But some of them help in the back, some of them help in the front. Those who help in the front lines, they're usually more glorified because they're taking more danger. But the general is pleased with all of the people who are working in the effort.
How can we understand? On one side we have a determinate future, on the other side we have our free will.
Yes, it's easy to understand. Just like at the present moment, right now, I have free will. I can do what I like. I can pick up this microphone and throw it at you if I want. It's no problem for me to do it.
That is great mercy.
No, I'm just like What I meant to say is that I have free will to do something strange. I can do whatever I want. But I also, after that, have to suffer the reaction. The free will allows me to do what I want right now, but then in the future, a reaction will be created, and I'll have to suffer that. At present, right now, I'm enjoying or suffering my past reactions for things I did in the past with my free will. But right now, while I'm enjoying and suffering, I also have free will. So the free will acts present, and the predetermination also acts at present. They're both acting simultaneously. But my future becomes determined by all of the actions I do at present. So sometimes we are so bound up by our reactions that we have no free will left. We're simply bound up by reactions. We cannot do what we want anymore. We're just bound up. Just like if you're in jail or in the hospital or dying or something like that. All your free will gone. Maybe you can think something and you have some free will to think what you like. But actually you can't even think what you like because the mind is just... It's the mind. Thinking about everything and anything, anywhere in the world or the universe. And you have no control. You even want the mind to stop thinking of these things. But it won't stop. You want to think of pleasant things, but the mind is thinking of nasty things. And, oh, you're suffering. So free will is very small. Very small. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah?
Кой е начинът как можем да станем чисти ватани?
How can we become Krishna's spirit?
Oh, come on. We're preaching all the time, how do you become Krishna's beautiful? You listening or what? Are you listening? Then, what are we talking about here? We're talking about how you can become Krishna's pure devotee. Are you listening? Then how come you're asking such a question? This is called a club. And besides, that's a how can we question. How can we become a pure devotee? We can become pure devotee by following regular principles, chanting our rounds, reading the books, engaging in devotional service, coming to the temple programs, serving spiritual masters. You think these processes are not powerful enough? No! Yes. Yes.
Is it possible to ask a question about the name which he received today for initiation?
Well, some of the names, very few, I have translations for. So if your name happens to be one of them, maybe I can look it up, although it takes a while. But usually I don't have the translations of all these names, and these names are very complex Sanskrit names. But the names are usually names for Lord Chaitanya or Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So what you'll have to do is wait till you find a Sanskrit expert, and then you can ask him what these names mean. I'm not a Sanskrit expert. I have no brain whatsoever for languages. I can hardly speak English. It's luck only if I come out with the right word. Only because you speak worse English, you laugh. When are you finished? September. And what will you get? And what will the piece of paper say? What kind of degree will you get? Professor? And you have to go to school in the summer months? Okay, so just finish. It's so short time. Your parents would be very upset if you didn't finish. Isn't it? So just finish, it's a short time. I want your soul to go back to Godhead. I want everything. I'm very greedy. Just finish your school and don't worry about it. And when it's finished, then you forget about that. Be a pure devotion. Yeah, you have another question?
Yes, this is a bit heretic question. It's a heretic question. But it confused me now when you said that you gave some names and you don't even have translations for them, but then why do you recite these names if you don't know even the translation and the meaning of the name? You must make it a bit confusing.
It's not required to know the meaning. It means that these are names for Krishna. They're all names for Krishna. So it's a spiritual name. Whether you know the meaning or not, it acts. Just like you may not know what the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra means, you can still go back to God.
So the meaning is Krishna.
Yeah, the
That's
meaning
the
is
name
Krishna.
of each and every name.
Each and every name is Krishna Das. Just that each name has a very specific meaning. Just like my name, it took me many years to figure out what my name is. Prabhupada just said it's a name of God. But it also has a very specific meaning. And it took me maybe 5 or 6 years before I could find a dictionary which was big enough to find my name in it. So it took me quite some time to figure it out. It's not necessary that you know the exact meaning of your name. It doesn't help your devotional service in the slightest.
Reading books, I'm always inspired by some parts which are connected with devotional service. But when I find some more deep philosophical meanings and parts, I'm just reading, I'm not so interested. Is it dangerous for my future spiritual life?
Usually the ladies are not so philosophically minded. So it is not so bad if you are not a great philosopher and get into the real heavy philosophy. If you just know the basic philosophy, that's good, then you can bring people to Krishna consciousness. You don't have to lament about that. Yes.
In one conversation made between Harikesa and Lord Shiva, in relation to the point that nobody can control the senses unless it's fully conscious. And I don't understand why Lord Shiva didn't that attempt because I like this
Actually, Lord Shiva is one of the greatest yogis and controller of senses. But once the demigods needed a commander-in-chief, so they wanted Lord Shiva to produce one son who would be the commander-in-chief of the demigods. His name was Skanda, the god of war. So Parvati had to agitate Lord Shiva in order to get him to do that. So that's his only fault. So therefore he's used as the extreme example. But Haridas Thakur, he didn't have any fault. So therefore he's the perfection of devotion. All right. One last one.
Now I feel that there is a moment where I don't seriously take some service, what example you want to be doing or something. Yes, I think we also got which part of this mission is
This question you should ask to your temple president. He gives the duties to the devotees. What do you want her to do? You want to send her a book distribution? Ah. Can you do that? Yes? You want? He says, okay, it's arranged. I knew there was some reason for me to have one more question. Oh, but I want to quit, it's 9 o'clock. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.